afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Dave, and today we got the Boys in Company C. Now, this can be perceived as an early version of the Full Metal Jacket, which came out a few years later. One of the gentlemen stars as the sort of gunnery sergeant, sort of staff sergeant, in other words, drill instructor in this film. He starred in Apocalypse Now. He's one of the gunner chopper pilots, one of the helicopter pilots. And later he also is the gunnery staff sergeant in Full Metal Jacket itself. So yeah, one leads into another, I suppose. And congratulations to him, but unfortunately not long ago he passed away. So rest in peace, sir. He was also a veteran Marine in the US Army as well. So I won't say his name because I want you to go look him up. Anyway, Boys in Company C, as I said, is the early version or a similarity to Full Metal Jacket. It's a real sort of heart pounder. It's a real exciting film. It basically pushes a writer and an athlete, along with a few other recruits, basically are put through their paces in combat training, a boot camp basically. It's where you sort of see them all come together to start with. The variety of different people in this, of course, all this is leading up to the Vietnam War. The war is sort of going on anyway, and these are sort of new recruits come along to fill the gaps, as it were. And anyway, later on, it gets a bit fisticuff here and there in the training, which seems to happen quite a lot. It's very, I don't know, very hard to describe sometimes, but it's very psychological, I suppose you can call it. It's a very sort of psychological film almost. You've got to be quite into this sort of thing to understand it in some ways, or trying to not overthink it. I think as a viewer, you got to just enjoy it for a film and not take it literally in some ways, because it's a film after all, and it's not real life. But the sergeant in this is a Marine, ex-Marine, so he knows what he's doing. So he's put together some kind of plan and helped the director in initial ideas and that, to basically say this is a good idea, you want to do this, trainers like that, and basically how to instruct the soldiers, as it were. Anyway, later on, most of them pass out, as it were. Not pass out, but falling out of the sun because of heat stroke or whatever, but passing out, I mean they get their bit of paper in one hand and a hat in another, on their head rather, and yeah, you know what I mean. And basically, yeah, they get to go to Vietnam. While they're out there, hell breaks loose for them. Yeah, a bit of fighting here and there. They get a good bit of walloping. They fight the Vietnam. Yeah, it goes both ways. Of course, along the way there, South Vietnam ally. They got sort of basically double crossed them, and the American soldiers got to go and sort of try and handle the situation, as it were, and get around to doing whatever they got to do. Anyway, to solve the problem, or a problem in general, is to play a soccer game. It's a basic game of football, which we call here in Europe, but soccer seems to be somewhere that you not call somewhere else for some reason, because American football's taken, I suppose, football in America. But anyway, to play a game. Anyway, if they win, they get to stay behind the lines. If they lose, they got to keep going back out and fighting the Vietnam. Yeah, it's that sort of 50-50 shot, really. If you field a team, you field a team, but it's never clean as it goes. So nice way of putting it, I suppose. Gives them an option. Also, their commander is very incompetent as well. You find he's very lacking in sort of in knowledge or listening or direction. It's him or nothing in a way. So he gives an order, he doesn't exactly know how to carry it out, or he gets given an order but doesn't know how to carry it out, and he gets stuck in. Basically, he shows a bit of cowardice in a way by trying to, and a bit of suicidal thoughts, I suppose, by trying to get the soldiers to do stuff or not to do stuff. It doesn't quite work for him, and later on he gets pushed out, and he tries to get his revenge in some ways. The Boys in Company C turns every war cliche upside down. Frank, hard hitting. Yeah. Prefiguring. Yeah, I think that's the word. Kubrick's Full Metal Jacket, Channel 4 film. Very thoughtful young man on the front of the case there. He's already wish he's managed to do something else with his life, but he should be very proud of himself for what he has done and achieved, and good for him as well. You got the helicopters in the background with some men running away from an explosion. It's a very nice colour case as well. That sort of grey, sort of black in some way. I like the writing as well. I got a bit of barbed wire going through the front there and the barbed wire at the top, but it gives a little bit of something in there, you know, nice bit of detail. But no, it's a very nice sort of colour. It's very dark. Obviously, the film's a bit of a dark film, so because I said earlier, a bit psychological sort of thing. But it's very nice, very well laid out. I do like that. And the boys can come to see on the side there. And very nice on the back as well. It's quite original and interesting. It gives a sort of different look to it, and to what you can get most films. But it's still got the usual 3 pictures of people, but you got that sort of like their serial numbers underneath them, which is what you get like a mugshot sort of thing, the police station. But very nicely laid out. Original and the best Vietnam movie. Apparently this movie was done not too far after the Vietnam War has ended as well. It's quite interesting why they did it so late on, or so soon. Depends on how you want to do it, phrase it really. I thought they might have done one during during the war to encourage people. Of course, everything's quite white and the wording's quite hard to see a bit, so let's go from the beginning. The boys can come to see the original and the best Vietnam movie. I recognise this as an inspiration of Stanley Kubrick's Full Metal Jacket. The Boys and Company C is a high-end member of the canon of classic battlefield movies and frequently realistic critique of the pointlessness and corruption universally associated with the US-Vietnam War. Now, The Boys and Company C follows the lives of 5 native young Marines. Why they put native in there for, I don't know, because native to what? Vietnam? I think they're American, you just said. Oh, never mind. Introducts from their training in boot camp through a tour in Vietnam that quickly devolves into hellish nightmare. Disheartened by futile combat, appalled by the corruption of their South Vietnam ally, and constantly endangered by the incompetence of their own commander. What more do you want? Oh, jeez. The young men find a possible way out the war. They are told that they can defeat a rival soccer team. They can spend the rest of their tour playing exhibition games behind the lines. I guess exhibition games like football, soccer, I don't know. You can only assume it's football or soccer, whatever you call it, wherever you want to say it. But as they might have predicted, nothing in Vietnam as it seems. Wow. You got the gun at the bottom there, the big gun. I don't know what it is, but something. My hand was in the way slightly at the bottom there. There's a vintage picture from the archives. It's not what the film looks like. They do tend to use some archive footage in here, so yeah. So we've got a couple of gentlemen. Got their signposts out with the numbers, and yeah, very not too bad. Inside as a chapter points, they call it in this, not chapter selection, which is an interesting one. I will call it chapter selection myself. Can't see it, but there is one there, so there you go. We've got 29 credits on this, which is nice. And the disc is exactly the same as the front cover. Try and get a camera mode a bit more. Camera mode, yeah, camera mode. Maybe in... yeah, whatever. The boys can see, you got the gentleman with the angry looking face to himself, guys in the background running away, and boys can come to see. Very nicely laid out. Very nice looking case as well. So yeah. No, this film's a very good one as well. I do like this film. It's a very exciting film. The passion they put into it, the thought, the way it's directed, the way it's been filmed, the way they go around using the props is very good. The cinematics are really nice. The music, what there is, they got like a song at the start and the end, which is got on a guitar. It's really nice actually. It does hit you a little bit and makes you choke up. But generally the film is quite exciting. Very psychological at the same time, but try not to get too much into it. So yeah, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.